welcome to The Well-Educated Artist. I'm Miranda, and today we're going to be pour painting a deer. If you have seen my other video on how to pour paint a tree, we're going to be doing it in that abstract style, starting off with a swipe and then etching in our design. I'm going to be making a set of coasters, so I have chosen a 4x4 tile, but you could use any size of canvas to do this. It really doesn't matter what you put it on, it's the same exact method of making this deer. Now, for those of you who have hunters in your life, or you just like deer, or maybe for Christmas you want it to be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, any of those applications, any of those ideas will work for this deer. So I'm going to give you the basic idea of how to make a pour painted deer. The first thing that we need to do is add our background. In this case, our background is going to be white, and I am opening this up just to make it quicker. And we're just going to either tilt this, or you can use a scraper or spreader, which I will go ahead and do. It doesn't take long when you're using something small. If you're using a larger canvas, obviously it takes longer, but we'll just go ahead and do this. Just cover the area. You may also want to cover the sides. If you're using tiles, they do have barcodes on one of the sides, so you may want to cover that up with paint so you don't have to see that. Then you can put resin over the top of it so that people can use it as a coaster. Okay. I'm going to take a second and wipe that off. You can see that I use my spreader quite a lot for how dirty it stays. It's hard to get clean. It's probably best to go ahead and get some bubbles out. Okay, so we're going to do a swipe. And in order to do that, we need to put some colors. And I'm going to be looking for colors up top and colors on the bottom to do my deer. So one's going to kind of mimic a sky, and one's going to mimic a foreground. It's up to you. You can go as crazy as you want with the background, do it any way you want to do it, but this is the way I'm going to do mine. And to do that, we're going to head and start with the sky. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my sky colors, which in this case is blue. And I'm going to be using lots of shades of blue. Here's one of my favorite sapphire blues. I use that one. And some of these have metallic. This is a metallic sky blue. All of these paints are mixed with Floetrol and water. 1:3 ratios. And I am then going to use some yellow. And the yellow I'm going to take all the way down. It's going to go into my foreground. And the same thing with my yellow-orange. Uh-oh, got a little bit of something on there. Let's take that out. A little bit of the yellow-orange. And on the bottom part, I'm going to be using brown, because I know I'm going to need some brown. And I'm going to be using some colors of green. We have more of a deep forest green, or hunter green, and then we have lime green, which is a yellow green. And then I'm going to use some Deco Art 24 karat gold. I like a little shimmer. It's going to go all the way down, not too much, not too little. That's probably pretty good. Now I'm going to take a piece of plastic. This could be cling wrap, transparency like this. It's been well loved and well used. It doesn't come clean very well after you've used it a million times, but I like to use it to do my side. Now we're going to do a side swipe. First one side. And then you're going to want to wipe it off. A lot of orange in that. And then we're going to do another side swipe from the middle. And wipe off that transparency. You can wash it. It dries so quick on that. Okay, you're already seeing that we are getting some cells forming in this one. And you can see how shiny it is. I just like the shimmer. Now to start our deer, I like to start with the horns to get some symmetry there. I say horns, the antlers. So let me put the antlers on. This is going to be a big buck. He's going to have a large rack. And you can go back over these as well. And I'm going to give him quite a lot. This reminds me of the tree video where you're making the limbs. So he is going to be a very nice buck because he is going to have a lot of antlers, points on his rack there. It almost looks like he's starting to look like a moose. I think I need to move over and work on the other one. And you can just remove as much or as little paint you want. I'm going to give him a lot. Let's make the hunters envious. Give him a really, really nice rack. Okay. I'm going to actually move that over just a little bit. I don't want his head to be too big. He's going to have a lot of green on his face. I may add some brown in. But we're going to start with doing his ears. If you go in a little bit, you can kind of get your tufts, your ear tufts. Okay, and his face is going to be, I'm going to go ahead and actually outline these a little more. The face is going to be longer. I've learned that it's just best to go with a longer face. Okay. And you can work around the ears. Okay. You're going to do a neck on the deer now. I am just going to pull it down. And I guess I didn't even mention the tool that I'm using. This is just a small palette knife. You can get them in a set from Amazon or online, one of the art stores. You can also use a skewer. I use skewers a lot of times to just skewer like this. I want to take off more paint. You can see that it's not really taking as much paint. If I want to dig down into the white, then this works a little bit better to get off a little more paint. Give me a little more edge. Okay. Now you're saying, well, what happens to, where's his eyes? Where's his nose? Well, you do come back in for those. I'm going to add a little bit of extra paint in just a second. I'm just going to go and refine these antlers a little bit more. Remove a little bit more paint because your paint is fluid. This is fluid art and it will tend to move over itself. So to do the eyes and the nose, you're going to take black. I'm just going to make sure that this is not clogged up. I've had it open. And just be very sparing to where the eyes are going to be. To the side of the face works best. More toward the side because it is going to expand. Okay. And then we're also going to put some for the nose. If you wanted to do Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer for the holidays, because believe it or not, deer season in the South is usually in mostly November and December where you have the holidays come in. So if you want to do Rudolph, you would just add a red nose. Now to make this a little bit more realistic, I picked up the skewer. I'd rather have this. I am going to just move his eye around just a little bit so he's not so cartoony and make his nose a little more center and spread. If you want to, this one is very green in the face. You can either move some of the paint around to create some interest, or you can add a little bit of brown. I am just going to move a little bit around to give him the illusion of a little more 3D look. But you can add a little bit of brown if you want to. And that's basically all you're going to do. Now, if your paint starts to run, you're just going to dab it off, keep a paper towel to the side, and dab it off a little bit. The eyes, if you get too much paint, will run. And you may have to practice this. The really good thing about working on a tile, and I'm just going to pull my color down, is that if you don't like it, it's very easy to wipe the paint off with a paper towel, rinse the tile off with water, and start again. You're not stuck to it by any stretch of the imagination. I'm going to bring his antlers into his head a little more. Ear's going to cover that. Okay. One more time, just to make sure that it looks well. And that's pretty much all we're going to do. I'm going to spread some of the color to the sides. I'm going to make sure that my sides are covered. And it's really that easy to do it. And I will show you one that I've already done. This is one that is completed. It just needs to have a coat of resin put over the top so that you can use it for a coaster. For my case, I'm doing coasters rather than straight out paintings. But it's really that simple, and you can make multiple. I am making a set, as you can see here. And this would be great for someone who likes deer hunting, for example, or who just likes deer. But notice I gave them really big antlers with lots of points because hunters, they like that. But anyway, so that's all there is to it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'll see you next time. Bye.